Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade. Today we're going to be taking a look at a long trade here on crude oil. The idea behind this one is we're looking for the sellers to begin failing, and that's kind of what we're seeing right now. Now, the overall movement, I'm just looking for a pretty straightforward move. Nothing fancier than just basically AB equals CD, move higher. So looking for our target at around 92 with that little bit of a front run. All in all out on this one, nothing too fancy. It's a pretty straightforward type of trade. The stop is going to be, let's go a couple ticks below here. Sell stop right there, and you can see we're running a very, very small stop on this trade. Our entry price is at 71, our stop is at 66, so we're running a 5-tick stop, and we're looking for a target up at 92, and that locks in 21 ticks, so it's like a 4-to-1 type of trade here. Now 21 ticks on 4 contracts, it's 84 overall. Definitely plenty of room to get a really nice move out of this. It is still kind of early. We're coming in, it's just 8:10, so, we're looking for a move higher, but there is some pretty big news at 8:30 that might cause crude to get a little bit funky. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we try to get out of this trade before 8:30, or that we're already in a profitable position by the time 8:30 comes around. Now our stop size is only 5 ticks, but news can cause some slippage, and you really don't want to play around with that. So we're looking at this trade just for a quick scalp to the upside to see if we can hit 92, and then the news hopefully comes out after that, and then we'll kind of see what it wants to do from there. But overall, we're long 71, just waiting for the move higher. Everything looking really, really strong. We had crude oil initially start the day very, very aggressively down, and since then we've just kind of started channeling out, and that channel, it looks like they just kind of overshot the lows, and they got a little too overzealous down here, and you can tell just by that wick that they were very, very weak down there, and the immediate reaction was buying pressure. The sellers tried to come back in again right here, and then that was also met with immediate buying pressure. So we're seeing the buyers really try to slap this thing higher first, and that might be kind of indicative of what might happen around the news. That also gives us clues on what to expect in terms of the short-term movement. So there are a lot of different clues that we're getting right now. It's just a matter of where the market wants to go in the short term versus where it wants to go in the long term. In the long term, we're still bearish. In the short term, we're looking for little scalps to the upside, along with the fact that the sellers are failing down here. So we're in the trade long. We have a very, very small stop. In long at 71, stop at 66, looking for 92. So we'll give this a little bit of time and see if we can get that target filled. All right, we're seeing the buyers really come in on some strength here. We held that area very, very well. Our long is still at 71, and we even gapped a little bit. We had a small little gap that formed right there that the buyers are really slapping this thing higher. Now, we are just around the corner to news. We've got about 7-8 minutes or so for that news to fire off. So I really want to see, this next candle or the candle after this before the news comes out to try to push up and fill that 92. That way we don't get kind of, stuck with the news. Nobody really likes getting stuck with the news. It does also kind of appear as though we have a small little bullish channel working its way up, which even aids more to the trade that we're in already. So everything looking really good, and we're catching another big push here. It's just a matter of whether or not the buyers want to push it into our target. Target sitting at 92. And we got about, 1 tick away. Came 1 tick away from our target. I don't want to give anything back in case it does want to reverse on us, so I'm going to lock my stop in at 77, testing, and filled. So we got our target filled, 92, beautiful move up. This is exactly what we were looking for. Quick little scalp, and we're out before the news. It's very important that we're out before that news. So we went in only 4 contracts, even though we had a relatively small stop because of the news around the corner. You don't really want to tempt fate and say, I'm going to go in and 10 contracts, news right around the corner, hoping that it gets filled. No, I'd rather go in, half of the size that I normally would just to be safe. And if we have to close early, then we have to close early. But in this case, we got the target filled at 92, and yeah, just a beautiful push up. So really good example of everything coming together in the same place and seeing those sellers fail. And again, the overall bias is still bearish. I'm still expecting us to want to push back down to these lows. But the problem that we're running into is the sellers are super weak. We need to see the sellers probably reload at this point. They spent everything they had on this big knockdown over here, and even that little blow off that we saw down here. They're just out of bullets. They need to start reloading and kind of let it meander its way up, and then we might be able to see them kind of slap back in and push this thing lower again. But until then, I would say short-term bullish. So that's going to be the trade. Overall, beautiful move up. Again, we took 21 ticks out of the trade on 4 contracts. It's 84 ticks, $840. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com, and as always, we'll catch you next time.